Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of Neighborhood CEOs. I'm John, one of the hosts. I'm joined by my dog, Lionel, man, my co-star, man. Lionel, how you feel?
Sir, feeling good, bro. I'm good, man.
Yeah,
It's a little hot out here. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm doing good, man. I'm hanging in there.
yeah, man. Hey, we got the first repeat offender, man. We done had a few. We took some time off. We was slacking for real, man. But it's the first guy to swing back through on us, man. The double back,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it's
You
love.
know,
Yeah,
it
Yep.
was one of my favorites. Like I said before, the first time, man. We got the voice of the Ville, um, Ballhawk, they call him, Ma Rashad,
yeah.
Sheen. We got the OG in here, man. Ma, man, what's up, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you guys, welcoming me back,
Yeah,
First the double back, man. I'll take that title, you know what
First
I'm
one, man.
yeah,
First
yeah.
back to
That's
back, man. Shout out to Drake, man. Back to back.
uh-oh.
I'm a
Uh-oh.
Pusha T fan, and a Kendrick
Nah,
Oh
we ain't
fan.
gonna
man.
do that. We ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
We ain't gonna do that. I know
yeah,
how to take a
yeah,
L. I know how to take a L.
yeah.
If I lose, I lose, man. I don't fight no losses, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna go see the boy Kate out tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
at
what's
uh,
up.
at the DMV. Yeah, so I'll be they had a standing ovation in Toronto,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's kind of dirty, man. I seen you
You
some
can't fight the
flicks,
feeling,
man.
man. You can't fight the feeling, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You
What's
know,
dope is dope, bro.
when the
Nah,
spirit hit,
facts,
you gotta
facts.
move, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See Mojo Brooks crying.
But what was
Mojo Brooks was crying in the concert.
that?
He was crying. He's like, "Come on," he playing it, but he's like,
Yeah,
"Yo, come on," you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he like everybody singing this, man. Like he like, "Come on," he like light skin
yeah,
is like we struggling out here.
Oh wow.
yeah, man. Hey, Ball, man, how was your Father's Day, man?
Father's Day was awesome, man. So every for the past 8 years, Father's Day has been spent out at Thompson Park. I mean, it was at the Armory for the
Yeah,
Thompson games, but before then it was a BCBA game. So I mean, it's always special. My wife this year, like the gifts they gave me was like a theme about them. Like my wife gave me some socks that say I love my wife, my daughter. I love my daughter. Or my son had something that incorporated about him in the shirt. So even though it's a gift, it's something about
yeah.
them. So I thought that was dope, though.
Yeah, that's what's
All right,
up.
let me ask you, man. Me and Lionel had these conversations, man. Is it bad as they make it seem for us, man, or it ain't really that bad, man? You know how they say, the Mother's Day, they got all the ads, all the, the boat, they got the memes, all the different
Yeah,
stuff. Is it like that, or it ain't really like that, man?
I mean it's like that. I mean let's keep it let's keep it trill. Like we understand that women love to be pampered, they love gifts, and men you got to be macho. So we might have done it to ourselves, man. We so
Mm,
tough, and don't want to show emotions that it's not really easy to celebrate us because you just never know, like if that man want to be celebrated. I want to be celebrated, so you could, celebrate me. But
Yeah.
yeah,
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 society, yeah, it's definitely about the mother. Even if it's a single mom, they celebrate both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
That's an interesting take, though. I never looked at it like
yeah.
that.
What do
I
you think?
love I love the reframe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
I
know what
love the
I'm saying?
reframe. Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
about how you deliver it.
Yeah, facts. We did it to ourselves. Nah, I mean, you think about it, like, I know a couple deadbeats out there. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
real.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. My wife was asking me like I'm sending her the memes, the reels off of social media, and I'm just
Hmm.
kind of joking. But I mean, I see what people say. It ain't that bad all the time, but it's like that. But she trying to tell me like, I hope you don't go saying that you didn't get this and you didn't get that. I
Hmm.
was like, well, I ain't gonna make it look. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, I think it's good though, man. But it's definitely a different energy in the world, man. On the as far as the marketing and the promotion and I
Absolutely.
don't know what happened though. You said it. I don't know. It's always been like that though. But it is social
Yeah.
media. That's their job to amplify what we already be thinking. So they make it worse with all the memes, all the reels, all the posts. But
Now you
hey,
know
we
what they
know.
say about men, bro. It's like if you show your emotions, they look at you as you weak. So if you're a man and you really communicate how something's failing you and how you want to be treated better,
Yeah,
you get called soft.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
soft, like being called soft or being put in that box will cause you to crash out because now you got to prove you really not soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you get the crash out. So anytime a
Right.
crash out take place, you might want to ask that man who didn't listen to you when
Yeah.
you was,
That's a good point.
communicating that you were hurt. Because somebody like laughed at you or just dismissed
Mhm.
it, and you was like, all right, since this ain't work, I'm gonna show
Yeah.
you, but I can tell you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real. It starts to become a value for you. You know,
Yeah.
it starts to become something you value in your relationships, being heard, being appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mm-hmm.
it does, man, cause a lot of men to crash out when they feel unwanted, unloved, rejected, whatever the case may be. And I feel like
Yeah.
men, we're very sensitive to that. You
Yeah.
know, like we can pick up on that and like, oh nah, you moving funny, you doing this. And I see it all the time for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's
just
like that
interactions
kind of.
that
It's like that. Take my kindness for weakness. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Because you shoulder a lot as a man because
mm-hmm,
you feel like you have to be the provider, you have to be the protector, you have to be thick skinned, you
mm-hmm,
have to be so much that when you don't have a release and you aren't allowed to show that you're vulnerable and feel wanted, it's like you reach a tipping point and then it usually comes out at the wrong time or towards the wrong person.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, men as collective we've gotten better with
Mm-hmm.
the circle we have and being able to communicate with other brothers and be like, man, I'm going through something, and one of your friends receiving that and be like, it's gonna be okay, though. It's okay to feel defeated right now.
Yeah.
Like it's fine, you safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going since it's June, so that's like men's mental health. And we did
Mm-hmm.
last time. We always do it with most people, man. But we did it last time with you, man. But not being that's the month. But how you feeling, man? How you doing, man? Every day,
Yeah,
mental, physical, everything, man. How am I doing these days, man?
I'm doing well, bro. Like shout out to Will and my brothers Prolific, Wes, Littles, shoot, Paul. Like we make it a point to make sure we really check in with each other.
Yeah.
And, as much as people see me on Instagram or Facebook, get my reps in, like that's my daily deposit, how I check with myself. Because as I'm running, sometimes emotions come out. Sometimes I could really evaluate what took place the day before or something that's really been on my heart that I didn't know how to communicate. So as I'm running and really like punishing my body and put
Mm-hmm.
myself through some pain, it's like it's therapeutic to me and I'm releasing it because I always had football. So, I always had a physical sport
Yeah.
and understanding the things that I struggle in. So I got to put myself through some type of physical pain to really tap into like what's really going on with me.
Yeah.
So the runs are like super therapeutic. Like even today is like I was hurting, but it's like, man, I felt good at the end. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you process a lot. And just working out in the morning just helps me be at that level where I can start to receive and be a sponge to the young people I work around. I work in a detention center, so I want to go there with a clean plate because
Yeah.
they need somebody to bounce stuff off of. Or I may be the person that get attacked verbally by them, so they can
Punch.
get that release. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So I'm doing well though, bro. I appreciate y'all asking that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I told
that's
Lionel,
solid.
Lionel, before you can go, I told Lionel earlier, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking, I shoot him a couple things, like I'm gonna we talk to him about this or that. And I was like, I asked him too, because he a therapist. So I was like,
Hmm.
Ballhawk do that motivational, he speak, but I was like, I wanted to make sure, who be checking on him. So
Yeah.
like with you too, man, like that's your job, man. So you gotta find you. I don't know what you do, you can say it, but you gotta be clean plate when you go into your sessions
Oh,
and in your
facts.
plate, man, in your job, because like you said, you don't know, like Ballhawk said, you don't know you don't know what you're going to encounter that day, man. So you go in there,
Mm-hmm.
you wound up or you stressed out, which we know how to compartmentalize what we go through and we can get our
Mm-hmm.
jobs done. But
Mm-hmm.
for you too, man, like how you feeling this month and the year so far?
Yeah, man. That's a good question, bro. I mean, because I oftentimes I'm in a space where I'm always a pillar for someone else,
Mm.
and and so me shifting and allowing people to be there for me can be sometimes hard. I think Hawk, you spoke on it early, just that vulnerability piece of just saying, yo, I'm this, I'm that, I'm not doing my best. Um, I think this whole year, honestly, man, it's been a unexpected year.
Mhm.
With business, it's been somewhat challenging. I had some therapists that's planning to leave.
Mm.
So like when I think about like revenue, I think about like sustainability. I started to get freak out a little bit. I'm losing like 5 therapists. I got to replace 5 different caseloads. I'm doing numbers. I'm like, all right, this is something that I ain't playing for, right? And
Mhm.
so I've seen that obsession of trying to create stability impact me, and shoot, doing the pod, being present for the pod, being present just in for the fam. And I think like right around like March, I really started going hard and working out, and I had really like I like how you coin that hard, like the deposits to yourself, like
Yeah.
because I think me not doing that initially was definitely hard for me to regulate myself or just being in tune to myself emotionally, and I started to do more reading too, and there was 2 books, The Way of the Superior Man and The Mountain Is You. And those 2 books really helped me kind of really see myself and understand that a lot of times we're not emotionally intelligent enough. And I caught myself over the past week. I was with the kids, with the family, and where were we? We were out of town, and it was hot. The kids was getting on my nerves, and I started to get irritable, bro. I'm like, I'm ready to go,
Yeah.
and they trying to pull me in this direction, that direction. And wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Damn, I can just communicate that. You know what I'm saying? I can just say
Mhm.
what's wrong with me. I ain't gotta have all this reaction." And
Yeah.
it's. So I'm learning how to be more emotionally intelligent, just tapping into like what's going on, so I can just verbally verbalize it. Like, yo, I'm here, I'm there. I need this, I need that. Because a lot of time as men, we don't tell people what we need. We
Mhm.
just kind of respond off our emotion, and I think again that pride, that lack of vulnerability, we just maybe ghost a situation, leave a situation, or just blow crash out.
Yeah.
So yeah, now all in all, man, it's been an up and down year. I really needed that. I had a whole week off last week. I really needed that recharge. And help me reflect on, all right, man, where you at, what you need. All right, let's try to keep some of this stability right now as well. So I'm doing good, man. This week, last week has been a solid week so far.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, I always wondered that, man. When you know what I mean? I knew what you did. I mean, I know now, I know ball was into like the schools, it's coaching
Hmm.
and into that.
Mhm.
I know you let it work in the detention center, but I know what you did, Lionel. And I always used to wonder, like, you see people, and I see this a lot listening to people podcasts, man. Like you see people and they look like they got it together.
Yeah.
Everybody have a day. Everybody got days. Everybody got weeks where it's like they ain't got it. But you just say, damn, either they really got it together, and if they do, I need to get with them to get some of that energy, or check on them because just because it look like it, don't mean it is.
Hmm.
So, that's
Yeah.
just good, to do that, man. So I try to do that a little bit more, like with people, especially
Mhm.
people that I don't even really talk to, man. You never know. You just hit them, make sure everything is cool, make sure whatever they tell you or not, but you just try to reach your hand out, when you can, especially if you think
Hmm.
might need it, man, or people got a lot on their plate. You gotta check on them, man. So that's good, man. Not even this month, but all the time, man.
Yeah, and I think that, like what Lionel said, like a lot of times, like when like we all married, like when you're in a relationship with your wife, most of the time, like you ever notice, like I can't read your mind. What you would tell me, we
Hmm.
got to do the same thing because a lot of
Hmm.
times we always like try to predetermine like the outcome before we say something. So in our mind, we like if I say I'm tired, or if I say I'm tired of you asking me to do this how they gonna respond. So I ain't gonna say it. Versus understanding that when you communicate it, that's therapeutic. Like you're getting it out.
Yeah.
You're at least letting them know. Now they may still act the same, but at least you can say, I told you,
Yeah.
versus just saying, well, you should have known or read my body language. Like any type of nonverbal communication, everybody can't read nonverbal cues. It
Facts.
just is what it is. So a lot of times it's about like communicating and understanding that in our culture. I was taught at a young age to always present well. Because my parent or my grandparents never, like my big mom, don't you tell nobody what's going on in this house.
There you
So
go.
you got to present well. You got to put that smile on, and you got to just keep trucking along. So it took me to my mid 30s. I'm 46 now, for somebody to be like, "Hey man, you might be smiling, but you ain't really okay." Like they be like, "How you doing?" Like, "I'm doing good," and they be like, "No, how you really doing?"
There
And when
you go.
somebody say it again,
Yeah, that's
you'll
it.
start thinking like, and it may just come out. You might just get emotional. There's been plenty of times, man. I've been prolific at tell you. There's been plenty of times where I'll run with them. It might be in the middle of the run. I might just start tearing up.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, but I'm letting it out. So they
Yeah.
know now, like, all right, he letting it out. Because
Yeah.
I'm always gonna present well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I could be going through something, but I'm making sure you okay. Because I feel like I can be okay in the end. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's dangerous.
Yeah. That's it.
Mhm.
It's like last time. That's why I said last time we asked. The first time we asked you, you had a whole thing. You gave us a whole thing about your parents. It was back
Yeah.
and forth, up and down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I don't remember if I asked you twice or not that time. But it's not. You didn't give us that this time. So
Mm-hmm.
things is I don't know what was happening between like with your family back from then to now, but
Mm-hmm.
that ain't on top of your mind today. So either it's been
Nah, I
better,
just
been resolved, or you dealt with it whatever way.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah, I dealt with it. I dealt with it.
and maybe still deal with it, but you know what I mean. But
Not, like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, cause I always get this question. So I'm a transparent. I always get this, like people always ask me, like, yo, why you run every single day? And the days I don't run, I just feel like I'm in that like I'm more uncomfortable going through physical pain than having to not go through that and really still process it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because that's like like that's out my comfort, like really out my uncomfort zone. Because I really got to communicate and verbalize and articulate like what's really going on. And a lot of times, I know myself, if I really start to like dive into the demons that I'm dealing with that day, I just never know what demon gonna jump out and be like, haha, remember me? And now I gotta process it. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I'm showing like I'm super vulnerable. I get super I cry more as a man than I did as a kid because my pops be like, don't cry. Like, you get,
Mhm.
you know, beat with the wooden spoon. Back in the day, you had the wooden spoon, the wooden fork on the wall. You just take one of them off and
Mhm.
start, da da, don't cry. If you cry, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you something to
yeah,
cry about. So you learn how not to cry, just
Yeah.
so, but yeah, man, like right now, man, I just learned how to process it more, just being more open, being more transparent, just being more vulnerable and not feeling ashamed. Like, look, man, I ain't gonna cuss, but I don't get two F's about somebody think I'm soft or this and that. Cause I always tell them these things still work, but I
yeah,
choose not to load them up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'd rather
Yeah.
I let my emotions out because this can get me in deep trouble. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather I'd rather like let the trouble out, cleanse my spirit
Mhm.
than do the easy stuff and be angry and act off emotions in a negative way. Why not act off
yeah. You got
emotions in a positive way?
you got to watch though. A grown man that's gonna cry in front of you, got to watch him though. Yeah,
You ain't
yeah,
lying.
so
That's real.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you
Cry like a
anybody
man. You read that book, you'll know.
want to say if a man is standing in
Mhm.
front of you and he gonna do that, you better leave him alone. You better ask him how he doing or something, man.
'Cause a lot of times, man, they crying because they out of fear of knowing how far they willing to go.
yeah,
Like a lot of times, a man will get emotional. Like you said, like you should not fear him like you fear, but
yeah,
fear that he really is willing to go that far,
yeah. You
and
yeah,
he's fighting it right now.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep,
The unpredictability of that of that
Yeah.
and that level of vulnerability with it, like
Mm-hmm.
nah, it's I think there's definitely, and to your point, man, like not being allowed, almost not being allowed to cry as a child, or being embarrassed when you did cry. And I
Mm-hmm.
was very similar to that. My pops was incarcerated for 11 years, and when he came home,
Mm.
um, he got on my brother and I for our room or something like that, and I like just broke down and cried. And I felt so embarrassed, by how he responded to that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it took me maybe 10, 15 years before I cried again. Like I had
Mm.
suppressed so much emotion, I became kind of numb because I was so embarrassed by that moment. And like, damn, why did I cry? Just not really understanding that moment, right? But shit, my dad had been gone 11 years. Now he
Mm-hmm.
getting on me about. I mean, like that's a hell of a concept to even try to understand.
Yeah.
So, I think just the idea that masculinity and man, it's like it blocks you so much for just being human. Like
Yeah.
crying is a human natural thing. I like what you said, like just cleansing your spirit, and
Yeah.
that and allowing yourself to release what's been pent up and just trapped. And no, it's super therapeutic. And I think encouraging our sons to do the same thing and not being
Yes.
shy, or to cry, and it's okay to cry, and that doesn't make you soft, and
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. And
Yeah.
and so it's like that term, man. And I've been hearing a lot of other guys use that, is that multidimensional man. It's,
Mm-hmm.
you don't always have to be the provider, or always have to be the protector. You can have different layers as a man, and not just be provider, protector, and that's all I am.
Yeah.
And I think we showing that for sure, this generation of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being thoughtful at the end of the day. Like you just start to use this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
allow this to really be tapped in with this versus just
Mm-hmm.
allowing this just to control you just to go and do something thankless. And I love what you said, like with my son, like I remember he was young and he was crying. I was just like, man, I used to tell him like, let it out, bro. I would hug him like, let it out, like get it out, because I don't want you to continue to move in the frustration, just be acting out because you don't want to just cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd rather somebody just look at you in that moment and be like, man, why he crying versus 2, 3, 4, 6 years. You just never know. Somebody has a situation, as you stated, like with the situation with your dad, like you harboring that every day, and that emotion wants to come out, that demon want to be released, and you
Mm-hmm.
keep keeping it dormant, and it's just running through your veins now, and just making you do the things that's considered silly and immature. So you just gotta let it out, bro. Like you got guys out here that are comment, and they just don't like we criticize things we don't understand.
True.
So yes, they'll criticize you for crying because they don't understand why you crying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you tell them why, they still may not understand because they're not allowed to understand
Yeah.
in their current
Mm-hmm.
situation.
That's
That's it.
true. That's a
That's
good
it.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I told Anil, man, Hawk. So I don't know if you can tell me if I'm wrong, Hawk, but all right. So since last time, I tell you, I was like, oh, Hawk, I'm checking out. I'm checking you in the morning, man. I'm looking for it. So you tagged me in the reels, right? But I
Yeah.
ain't never did not one push up. So am I supposed to be? Do I owe you like 1,000 push ups?
No, man. Like so reps aren't so I'm glad you asked that, bro. So reps aren't physical push-ups. Like whatever
Yeah,
is your goal and the contract you set for yourself,
yeah,
that's your rep. So if you say, hey, I'm gonna read this many minutes a
yeah.
day,
Uh,
or I'm gonna meditate for this many minutes, I'm gonna cut the TV off for this many minutes, I'm gonna spend time with my wife and my kids, like those are your reps.
all
You
right.
know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's easier for somebody to just do push-ups, not realize like I'm creating a healthy habit for you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it's accountability for myself too.
yeah. I be doing them here and there, but I was just thinking the other day. Once I hit you and you was like, "Yeah, we can do such and such day." I said, "All right, cool." I was like, then the next day, I'm like, "You might have helped some." I was like, "Man, you know what? I don't know if I'm everybody else that's in there. They doing them." I was like, "West doing 'em, the other cats that I don't really know. I just know their names." I was
Yeah.
like, "You know what? I hope everybody out here like, man, why he got him in there? He don't do nothing. He don't post no."
No, what? So it's like I'll get DMs from different people, and they may screenshot like Like shout out to my homeboy Dwayne Stukes, who was an OG to me at UVA.
Yeah,
That actually got me super inspired to really log my miles in because he kept sending me screenshots of him running and the pace he was going at. And this was a guy
yeah,
that wasn't known, he wasn't known to be a runner, but he got inspired. And I was like, damn, I got to step my game back up. He out here crushing it. But he'll
yeah,
just send me screenshots like of what he did that day. And he might go back on a walk with his wife or
yeah,
he might do that. So I got different folks that just say, yo, I got up at 5 this morning. I like, and I like it when they say, I thought I was going to be tired, but yo, I felt good. I'm like,
yeah,
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 because you got a lot accomplished and you got that much more time. And then you realize, I always say, trim the fat. Like sometimes we got to value our attention and value our time and understand that some things aren't deserving of our attention in our time. So we got to be selfish and make it sacred. So when you
yeah,
start to trim the fat in your life, you realize you got a lot of damn time. You actually got a lot of time.
yeah.
You
You
know what
got
I'm saying?
yeah, but I'm gonna get in, man. I'm gonna get in the game, man. I'm gonna go ahead and
I
log
saw you
myself.
share the picture of the sneakers and the basketball. I saw that though.
Oh man, let's not talk about that, man. Oh, but now, since then, that day, that was the worst day. That's probably one of the worst days of my life, man.
Yeah,
I officially, I'm talking about in basketball. Since I officially could tell myself like, you can play ball, you good.
yeah,
Then from 7 years old till 40, that was the worst day, man. That day I posted that picture, I felt terrible, man. And I thought to myself, I was like, hey, I think Wes hit me, Will hit me. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come out there. I was like, it ain't nothing happening out there. I'm gonna just,
yeah.
I'm gonna mind my way through this game, man. I can just IQ it through, IQ on through.
Mm-hmm.
I get by. Shit was rough, man. Air balls everywhere.
That accountability
Hey,
right there waiting on you.
Armory in the gym, it's a little thing right here. I inbound the ball, threw it in, hit the top, out of bounds. Yo, I was like, man, it's time to go. I was like, it's time to go, man. Hey, that was bad. That was almost at the end of the game. I was like, man, I ain't never did that in my life, man. Hit the top. I wasn't even, I had no awareness out there that day, man. It was like 10
Yeah.
years since I had touched the ball for real. So
Yeah, when you told me that, bro, I was like, yo, he went a decade without touching a rock.
I might have touched it, but I didn't do
But
nothing
not
where
really like
competitive,
competitive type
nothing
stuff.
better.
Yeah.
But I've been out there twice since then. So the
Mm.
last time I was all right. We got that team hadn't even won a game. We got a dub. I got a dub out there. So they don't do nothing this week, but next week they got the playoffs. So
Yeah, I heard. I heard.
I'm gonna be out there, man. I gotta find somewhere to sharpen my tools at, man. I gotta be able to hit some jump shots, man. Cause I still ain't got no rhythm for jump shot. As far as getting up and down, I don't really get that sore right now. So
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
I'm never gonna go back though. I'm never going back to how I felt that day right there.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
that's gone.
Kobe. It was Kobe shoes. I was like, he'll be ashamed, man. He'll be ashamed of me
Uh,
right now, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's why
real.
you gotta
That's good though.
like when you go like think about that, bro. Like you said, Kobe. Think about when Mike came back from the Wizards, or Kobe. Even at 20, yeah, I just looked at something with Lou. He was on Gil's podcast and he was talking about Kobe's last year and how in
Yeah,
camp he was pushing the younger guys, and then after about 9 or 10 games,
gave up.
Cole was just like, my body ain't gonna let me do it. So he became lighthearted, and
Yep.
they started picking and choosing which games he was gonna play. But when you honest with yourself and just say, yeah, I can't be that no more. You
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
know,
yeah,
it's tough, but when you can look yourself and I'll be like, yeah, I ain't got it. It's like a weight lift off for you. It's like
yeah,
ain't no more
Yeah.
worries.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I got from watching, like you said, all these different. I mean, the big three to Tom,
Hmm.
all these different things I'm seeing. I'm like, people, and I see Gilly. He playing.
Yep.
People just playing. I'm like, damn, yo, that's my thing right there. I was like, I got to get back to where at least I can be competitive because I told
Yeah.
myself, I was like, I'm gonna pick up golf, but I was like,
Mm.
even if I become decent at it, it ain't gonna be the same, man. It ain't gonna
Golf is
scratch the itch.
hard, bro.
I know it's hard. That's what I said, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna challenge myself to be able to be just bad at it. All right, now I'll be awful at it, but I'm gonna challenge myself. And I told my wife I'm gonna do it because
Okay.
my son, he trying to try different sports. Like he did,
Okay.
oldest son, he in like competitive swimming.
Oh,
Um, uh,
nice.
so they got him on like swim team, but he don't like it because this is the first thing that they ever made him like do something. He just like to be out there. Like if
Hmm.
you ask him to let's go play ball, he'll just go play. But if you take him to a camp, he don't want nobody telling him, showing he don't want to do no drills. So he just turned 9. But I just told him
Hmm.
like he don't like to be bad at something. So if you
Okay.
just out there playing, so I was like, I'm gonna show him that I'm gonna pick something, not basketball, not football, something I know I could play. I'm gonna pick something that I have no clue about, so me and him can do it together.
Oh,
So when I'm
nice.
That'd
when
be
I'm
good.
at training for, I'm trying to take golf lessons, whatever it be. It's gonna be something that I'm terrible at, something I can't do. So then me and him I can show him like I was bad today, but next week I'm going again. And then he can see me, take little steps to wherever, he can just see where you was pretty bad at this at first, but now you got better.
Yeah.
I think he just need to see that. That's especially my oldest. My youngest, he don't care. Like he play whatever. Like he like a little bully. So he don't really care. He don't have that fear. Probably because he's younger or something, or maybe because like the first kid you have, they always, they just the ones that you always tell them, hey, be careful. Don't do that.
Hmm.
So I made him like that. So now I gotta kind of unmake him like that, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
gonna try to do. But yeah, I definitely, man. It's too many years in front of me, man, to just
yeah,
feel like, and I thought I was in decent shape because I was running a little bit. I was getting a
Hmm.
couple miles in, but ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing like
Yeah.
playing.
That's
yeah. That's what's
different. That's a
different.
different tempo right there, boy. Hooping is
Yeah,
different.
Yeah, it is. I
yeah.
was out of commission for about six weeks last year because I picked up the basketball and messed my back up.
Oh,
I herniated a disc in my back hooping.
dang.
Yeah,
So
you
nah,
joke.
it's nah. So
Yeah.
I really, man, I definitely I ain't rocking basketball. I gave up that dream a long time ago because I always joke, man. I gotta work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
Hey, you
yeah,
don't know how many
that's
times I said that when I was out there that
bro.
first day. That's all I
I
was telling.
know, I
I was
know.
tiptoeing out there, man. All I was
I,
thinking about, just let me walk out of here like I
yeah,
walked
Hmm.
in. That's a
yeah.
win.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so we'll see though, man. I've been doing these boot camps, so that's been really helpful.
Oh yeah, them boot camps. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's similar, it's similar. Like I want to make sure I can walk up out of here because they pushing everybody at the same intensity, and you got to make sure your level, I mean your boundary, your body's threshold because
Hmm.
your body, ain't everybody, man. Some of those white women in there, they like, God damn, y'all killing this joint. Y'all more in shape than the guys in here, man. I mean, it's. I mean, and I'm talking about like 50-year-olds, man. Like they put you to shame, man. But but yeah, man, it's definitely about keeping that body moving by all means, man. Keep the body moving.
Yeah, man. Oh, I see you got you back on the podcast now, man. So
Yeah.
like I said, I watched the first one, man. I think you brought them out a little bit, man. I don't know if Lonnie will know, man, but what's up with Petty Hawk, man? Where he come from, man? You know what I mean? Where you get him? Where was he born, man? How was he created?
Oh boy. So Petty Hawk is like the alter ego that I had to tap into when I played football. So it's like the unfiltered me. So it
Yeah,
wasn't always like that wasn't always his name. It was like when I was playing, he was called Mr. Idiot.
yeah,
So it's something that my dad created, not like intentionally, like say you have to have an alter ego, but since my dad was like never satisfied with my performances, it would
mhm,
piss me off and irritate me. And like he would just do something. And once I got older, I realized he was doing it on purpose. But he always felt like I played better when I was angry because I would be laser focused to shut him up.
yeah,
So I would tap into like a different side of me. And once I got uh in arena league with the Colorado Crush, one of my teammates like, damn man, you got like a damn idiot sometimes. And I was like, yeah, that once I get mad, bro, I don't care. And it was like, yeah, we're just gonna call him Mr. Idiot. So that's
yeah,
letting you know that you going too far. But in the midst of that, once I started potting, I used to always hear like opposing narratives that I didn't like. And I didn't want to be like Mr. Idiot. So I was just like, you know what? In today's climate, they call that being petty.
yeah,
When you just
Mhm.
being nitpicky and you picking and you being, and I'm always gonna try to be funny when I'm doing it because
yeah,
it's lighthearted, but in every joke there's some truth. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just call it Petty Hawk. Kind of give myself an excuse that if it's offensive, well, Petty Hawk said it, not me. It
Yeah.
won't me. So and it
yeah,
grew legs. Like everybody. the fan base at UVA like really took a liking to Petty Hawk. It was like, yo, can we just have an episode with him, or can you incorporate Petty Hawk more? So, I just started doing it, man, and it's worked out. And it's times where the same people who laugh at Petty Hawk get offensive if Petty Hawk targets them. So
Yeah.
it's fine tuning it. So I've had conversations with some important people like, hey man, you, I know Petty Hawk mean well, but you got to relax.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's wild, man. Yeah, but
I
that's
gotta check it out, yo. I gotta check it out.
yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, like last, I think it's last year when he was doing them, like I think it was like live with like a couple of his
hmm
partners. Or something. He was out.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was out wild in full effect, man. He'll
Yeah,
let you
Petty
know.
Hawk gonna use language. Petty Hawk not.
Oh man, he cursed, man, like a
So
sailor.
Petty Hawk, yeah, Petty Hawk makes sure it's a disclaimer. It's like, look, man, the views of Petty Hawk don't reflect the sponsors. Matter of fact, this ain't. I don't even sponsor those podcasts. I don't even say the sponsors' names. Like,
Okay.
this is just it's like the barbershop type of conversation that you
Mhm.
can. You know, if Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle, the one comedian that could just
They can do it.
Say what he
do
want.
stuff and people
Yeah.
understand that it's Dave. So
Yeah,
that's how I feel like with Petty Hawk. Petty Hawk said you just understand it's Petty Hawk. So yeah, it's unfiltered. And it's usually the unfiltered Petty Hawk is never attached to like Virginia news.
mm,
And like I keep that
nah,
separated. But it's like if you're a professional, Petty Hawk gonna treat you like a professional. But if you're a college
mm,
kid or a high school kid, then I'm not gonna Petty Hawk you because I feel like you're still learning
yeah,
and you know what I'm saying, you're still an amateur in a sense.
mm,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what's up.
So what's up with the Did you have what you just started doing? I think you was already doing like some
Mhm.
sideline stuff and all that, but last time you did something different this year, right?
Yeah, so last year I got promoted and I got the job of being the lead analyst for the radio broadcast. So now I'm up in the booth. So to give you a better analogy, I'm basically like Tony Romo or Troy Aikman to the
Yeah,
Nice.
play-by-play guy. So you got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I'm Troy Aikman. So I'm the guy that's
Ryan Clark.
he's drawing the lines of the picture and
Yeah,
I'm taking the crayon, I'm coloring it in. So he sets the
Yeah.
table, throws me the alley-oop, and I break down the plays. And it was a fun experience because when like about I want to say about 15 years ago. It's 20, we're in 25. Yeah, about 13 years ago. I interviewed for this job. Shout out to Tony Covington, my OG, one of my mentors. He got the job, and they put me on the high school circuit with WINA. So I did that for probably 6 years,
mm,
and then I transitioned from doing the radio in the same capacity to filling in, being a sideline reporter,
mm,
and from doing the sideline reporter, being a guest host for the pregame, doing my own podcast, I was like sharpening myself to be just a Swiss Army knife. Like
yeah,
from recording, like people don't realize. Like I mean, you guys know now because you got your own podcast, but nobody realized like I was producing everything. Like when I partnered up with Believe Network 2 years ago, and it was like, so who edits, who does this, who does this? I was like, me, 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 me. And I'm like, Master P, I'm putting out product every single day. Like I used to put out
Okay.
a podcast episode. I used to do like 2 lives a day. This was nonstop for like 2 years. Like I was just like putting it out. My wife would tell you I finally like, relaxed once my daughter got to high school. But for 4 to 5, like 3 to 4 years, bro, I was just putting my head down and grinding. So when I got promoted to this job, it's a lot more responsibilities as far as like radio, like doing reads on radio spots during the week. So I got a game ball of the week, and then I do a recap. So the recap usually come out of the game. I mean, the game ball comes out that Tuesday, and then I do a preview of who Virginia will play, and that comes out on Thursday, and that get pushed out to our radio affiliate. So
yeah,
that's everywhere. So they'll hear my voice in like a 60-second hit where I'm giving them a breakdown of what the opponent is, what to look for, why to be excited about the game in 60 seconds. And that's like one of the hardest things I had to learn to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to make sure in that 60 seconds you grab them their attention. So I understand now with the young people who do like reels, like reels when they doing skits, like, yo, these kids are really out here getting it because I'm just reading. They can't see my face. Um, so, but yeah, being a lead analyst, man, like you travel with the team, you stay in the same hotel with the team, like you with the team. And
Yeah.
that takes me back to being a player because I get to build relationships organically with the coaches and they understand that when I critique them, it's coming from a place of love. I'm not trying to like dog them out. And some of them listen to it. It was scary when a coach would be like, "Yo, man, you do a good job on your podcast." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you listen?" And I'm trying to think like, "Damn, did I say something bad about him?" You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, "Yo, man, like you was right." They might say, "Yeah, you was right about this," or "You was wrong, and here's why." Because this is what we was thinking. So it helps me see the game even better. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love about it because I could be a coach. I want to coach, but I love being around UVA football. Because if I wasn't around UVA football, I'd be with BI at Albemarle High School helping coaches, football team.
Yeah.
But my sports entertainment gig took off, so I coach from the booth, and I'm undefeated in the booth. I don't want so many championships, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because when you commentate from the booth, you get to see the result first. And
Yeah.
hey man, they should have did this, and everybody like, man,
There
Ballhawk,
you
you
go.
know everything. I'm like, yeah, because I seen the result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking, man, when I don't know if you was interested in it, man. When Vic got that job,
Oh,
I said, man, I
yeah.
said, Ballhawk, I said his name about to pop up somewhere, man. He gonna be somebody assistant or something, man. I said he gonna be, or if he don't do it, he gonna coach somewhere. But I didn't really know if this was your thing. I know
Hmm.
you can do it all, but I didn't know like what you really wanted to do. But I thought about it when I seen him get that job. I said, man,
Hmm.
I can see him out there somewhere.
And think about that. Shout out to Anthony Poindexter, who's at
AB.
Penn State right now. So Dex kind of opened my eyes. I think Dex, you know what? I said Dex saved my marriage because once I was going to retire from arena football, I was going to jump right into coaching. And Mike London was at Richmond, and I was inquiring about being one of his graduate assistants, and he was about to get a green light. And Dex was the one that say, "Hawk, you just finished playing professional football for 9 seasons, 10 years total if you count the 1 year you was on the practice squad. Your wife might leave you if you stay down this path because this is longer hours than what you were doing when you were playing. You sure she okay with this?" Because I never talked to her about it. I'm gonna just stay in football.
Yeah,
And he was like, "Why don't you coach behind a microphone, bro? Like you could talk. You always been like that." Because I never realized I used to do interviews when I was playing at UVA with my teammates, like fake interviews with like deodorant cans and stuff. And when it was media day, they would give me like a microphone. I would act like I would interview. So that whole time like a premonition of what I'll be doing. And
yeah,
Dexter's is like, "Man, why don't you? We need more guys like you who really understand the game, critiquing the game for everybody to hear, versus folks who just want to be trolls and want to like just degrade everybody." So
yeah,
he kickstarted this, and that's when I did that audition. I had never did anything behind the media. So think about that, man. They interviewing to be for the lead sports analyst for the Virginia Sports Radio Network with
mm-hmm.
all these affiliates. And I'm so naive. I just say, "Oh yeah, I'll interview." So when when I'm breaking down the game, the information is good, but the delivery was terrible. It was, you know what I'm saying? Because she was right here, you feel me? Shit. You know what I'm saying? I cussed a couple of times. It was just like, oh, wait a minute. You can't do that. Like,
It's tough to
you
give you
gotta learn how
box.
to talk. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
he kickstarted that, and then talking to my wife, she's happy because I could be home. I still watch film like I'm playing. So I watch hella film while I'm in here. I take notes while I'm watching the film. I mean, I can show you guys so many legal paths of play one, play two, play three, or this practice or this game, and then the opponent's breakdown. So I'm just not like shooting the shit, just going up there talking. Like
Yeah,
I'm preparing like I'm about to play. So as I'm watching the game, sometimes I have to catch myself and understand like I'm asked to be an analyst, I'm not asked to be like a player right now. Like I
Mm-hmm.
got to tap into how can I like marry both sides so they can understand like the passion I have as a player, like frustration of what I'm seeing and what should be taking place, and
Yeah.
how I can incorporate that into the analytical side of the down and distance, the tendencies, the balls on this hash, this how much time left. Because versus this team they did this, versus that team they did that. People like to hear the best of both worlds. So I'll give you a passionate time of that's unacceptable. Because I'm one of the few people that say a lot of times I don't blame a coach for certain things players do. As a player, you got to hold yourself accountable. So
Yeah.
I'm not a scapegoat person. I'm not going to just say, "Oh man, coach failed that kid." No,
Mm-hmm.
if he keep doing that over and over, that's him.
Yeah.
But in saying that, this is how he can help himself. I'm not just saying, man, he keep getting burnt. He got to tighten up. I might say, hey man, he got to close in on a hip first.
Mm-hmm.
Play the high hand when you see the hands go up versus looking back because he's not in position to look back. They're not
Yeah.
throwing the ball to you as a corner because people always say, why the corner not looking back? I'm like, he's not controlling that upfield shoulder unless he's closing that space and he can high five him. He can't look back. If he look
Yeah.
back, the ball's not coming to him. So as a DB, when you look up, you looking back. A receiver's looking up because the ball's coming to them. You got to look back to find it. So you're losing. Only way you can look back is if you take that inside hand and you put it on their thigh. That's a little
Yeah.
trick because a lot of times refs look up, waist up. So as a DB in your stride, if your inside hand's coming down, you smack their thigh to break
Mm-hmm.
they. It's a half a stride they taking because as you look back, you're gonna lose a half a stride. It's
Yeah.
called looking lean. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I usually do when
Yeah.
I'm talking on the mic is try to give you because we're visual people as football players, like we're very visual. Got the dry erase board.
Yep.
So once I learned how to communicate that in a small amount of time, that's when I started getting better at live air. On my podcast, I could take as long as I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
understanding that.
Yeah.
I
That's
always
dope.
thought it was impressive live, like you said, live air, being able to break plays down, being able to call it. I mean, I always sit there and think like, man, you gotta. I mean, like I'm like, how does people prepare for something like that?
Hmm.
And just kind of hearing your preparation, it starts to make sense. Like it seems like you put a lot of time in your craft and your knowledge base, man. Just being so that way you don't go and crash out when your camera's on live. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's some
Yo,
scary shit, man.
it's times, bro, because I play here. I'm an alum, so I could get very emotional in the game. So it's understanding how to just put your mic up
Mm,
to mute
mm,
yourself
okay.
and be that like let your emotions out without disrupting everybody and
Yeah,
understanding
yeah.
that. And I think the key, what I've learned on the job is you don't have to talk every time that the play-by-play guy stops. You don't have to say anything every time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then it's not organic. You're forcing it. So then you start to
Mm-hmm.
ramble. So there'll be times during the game where I'm like you said, I'm breaking stuff down. I'm like, damn, why they keep doing that? So while he's talking, I may not even look at him. So that's John learned like, all right, he's computing right now. I'm computing, and I may get a piece of paper and draw the formation, be like, what's going on? And then he'll see me put my pen down, and it could be two plays later because he's doing a good job of covering for me. Then
Yeah.
boom, he'll just let me take the wheel, and he knows as long as I finish before they break the huddle or before the quarterback like steps and claps, because then I got to let him
Yeah.
lay the land out of what the formation is, how much time is on the clock. So understanding each other. So we started learning
Mm,
how to just fill in the gaps. And there was times where something could happen with him and he'd just like go and I'll just go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to make it seamless so you're playing off each other. It's just like, back in the day when I grew up in hip hop, when you had Eric B and Rakim, people didn't realize the DJ name was first. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Because they was really doing the work because they was MCing, they was producing. That's what the voice is. That's what John is doing. John is producing everything. All I'm doing is being keen to what he's saying while watching
Yep.
mhm,
and playing off of what he just said in the end and
mhm.
adding my input of with the play.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what's up,
that's
man.
yeah. That's them. like you said, that's a you gotta be it gotta flow, man. You gotta have you
Mm-hmm.
gotta get a play off of whoever you on there with. And you think about it. I don't know how many people listening, but people listening. So or watching. So you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You can't just be saying anything. And because we see people, I mean, I see the people on the podcast and on the TV,
Mm-hmm.
you are saying something, they on national TV, ESPN,
Yes.
Sunday Night Football, and they'll say something crazy or something that, they'll slip up. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So and that's on the biggest stage, ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you
yeah,
can't be above. I always say you can't be above criticism. So if
yeah,
somebody feels like you long-winded, or if you're saying something they don't understand, like a lot of times we always take like a critique, like somebody's hating or being negative, and sometimes, man, like they blessing you, like you can help out your craft even more by just correcting it. If it makes sense, just correct it, and it takes nothing. You just look at the statement made, or you receive what they're saying, like, hey man, I really feel like you should do X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, okay. Like, all right,
yeah,
I'll do that. And there's
yeah,
times where I've worked Saturday, a UVA game, we come back Sunday, when the NFL game's on, I don't even have the sound on because I'm trying to call the game. I'm still working, I'm practicing. I just did a game last night, but this is the creme of the creme. This is pro football.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go a whole quarter and I'm gonna just try to break down the game and what I see. And then when I cut the sound back on and I hear the play-by-play guy go, I'm formulate what I'm going to say, and I may say it in my head, and I'm like, oh damn, Tony just said what I was thinking.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But you people don't realize how phenomenal, like quarterbacks got phenomenal minds, bro. Like when you hear a former quarterback talk about the game of football, and they're really paying attention, that is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's always great to be around a quarterback, man. Like we was doing games, I did games with Matt Schaub, and
yeah,
just talking football with him, just like, yo, damn, I didn't even think of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they just say that, like most keen things, be like,
yeah,
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah,
because they
yeah.
got
That's
to
dope.
understand the whole offense and the defense
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Yep.
Within split seconds, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, when they put in their playing days, but yeah, man, that's real.
Hey, hey, Hawk, they got the NIL now, man. What kind of NIL with Ballhawk that got, man? What kind of NIL did
Um.
you'd have been?
So
What you been, man? You'd have
first
got
of all,
something though. You got
yeah. Oh, I would have had a game plan, brother. I would have made sure I got an NIL deal with somebody who feeds you. I got to give
Mm,
me some meals. I would have went to one of these car dealerships. I just need a car. Don't give me no money. I just want the vehicle for the year.
yeah,
You know, there's a lot of workarounds, man. And I also would say this: as much as the young people will catch flack for chasing the bag, I admire them for being able to manage the bag at this age. I was getting a
mm,
Pell Grant stipend for 1,500.
yeah.
I
And
was
I was
blowing
late.
that quick.
Oh, yep. I don't know what mine
1,500.
was. I was getting
yeah.
work study check, and I was
Yeah. So
on
can
some
you
money.
imagine, bro? Like 25, 30, 100 racks? What?
Mm-hmm.
So everything happened for a reason, man. God know who can handle and who can't handle, or
Yep.
who need to learn, and who has a support system to be able to fall and be picked back up. So
Sure.
yeah, man, he knew not to do that. Like that 1,500, he showed like, oh yeah, 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 my boy
Yeah, right.
crash out.
That's when you might have been a Gator then. With that
Oh yeah,
NIL.
I might have went to Florida. Big mom, I could fly you. I could. Hey, can I get a jet, bro? Big mama,
Yeah,
yeah, come on.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but so what about we can get out of here, man? What about you with basketball, man? What they gonna do, man? Is it going?
Mm,
I think they're gonna be like I said. I like UVA. I root for UVA football, girls
yeah.
basketball. I stopped ever since they slowed the pace down in basketball. I ain't really
Hmm.
made a roll, but now they got my guy Chance. He up there.
Yeah.
So
Chance.
and they got they got a I mean they got a different type of coach now, man. So I
Yeah.
think they're gonna be. I mean, you can see the players they got. That's what I'm saying, different style. It ain't gonna
Hmm.
be. curious to see how it's gonna be, man. So what you think about the direction they're gonna go in, man?
I thought it was like the hire that would cause a lot of excitement. I think Carla and the administrators did a good job of going out and listening to the fans because the fans wanted Odom. They really did.
Yeah,
So going out, get Odom, and then being able to keep Chance here in Charlottesville, it does wonders because Chance is homegrown. He's a phenomenal talent,
yeah,
and his coaching style fits what he does as a player, and it could help him, as a player in the long run. And the great thing about Odom is that as much as they want to score, he values defense just as much. It's just a
yeah,
different style. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's just one of the things where you modernize what the GOAT, Tony Bennett, was already doing, and you just speed it up on one side, but not losing the core value of the defensive side, but understanding its time and place and personnel dictates what your system can be successful in doing. And I think a lot of times where Tony plays slow, this is not a knock because people always think it's a diss. He understood his personnel. I can't
yeah,
the talent I have can't keep up with that talent and that pace for the entire game. I
yeah,
gotta find spots of imposing my roster's talent onto that roster's talent by slowing it down and being methodical. Yes, you might hate it, but you can adjust quicker than those avatars they got over there that just want to run and dump. Those
yeah.
avatars don't want to go through all these screens for
Nah,
30 seconds and then if you miss and get the offensive rebound, we're going to reset it. Or they
right.
just miss and we get the rebound and we walk it off the court.
Yeah,
Like, them avatars don't like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think Tony, um, I think his system was perfect for the type of student athlete we were getting. And then with the NIL and with the added expectations of winning a national championship, I always say this: Tony Bennett's teams, they were a team that if you were a high favorite, like we were heavy underdogs, we had a chance. If we were heavy
mhm,
favorites, the underdog had a chance because of our style. Our
yeah,
style always kept us in the game, and then it would kind of hurt us versus
yeah,
less inferior. So that's why you would kind of see like the upsets or the early round exits because we would kind of keep the underdog in the game by slowing it down.
mhm,
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, but hey, man, that dude won a lot of games. They probably have a statue or a bust to hear something for him. He got the most he could out of
yeah,
his program, bro. Like he
mhm,
exceeded expectations and Odom. I don't want folks just comparing everything he did to Tony. I don't think that's fair.
yeah,
Like just allow him to be himself, create his own legacy, because then you get to appreciate what he does accomplish as a coach.
yeah,
Mhm.
Same thing
yeah,
gonna be
for
for the
sure.
baseball program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Ron
yeah,
O'Connor
yeah.
left. We got this new
I was
coach from
laughing
Duke.
about that on your joint. I was laughing about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's ironic, bro. They be giving Carla Williams hell.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
AD, right?
yeah, they give her hell about any mistake, but let her go out and do what they wanted her to do.
Mhm,
And they not as loud with like if you gonna be loud when you criticizing somebody,
yeah,
stand in your tent and be just as loud when they do
the
what you
praise.
asked them to do. Invest
Mhm.
in football, okay, she did that. Or she got it done because through fundraising, fans, alum, they donate money, millions for the NIL program. We get the transfers. Boom, basketball. Go get Odom. Go get this coach. Do
Yeah,
that. You got to get NIL money to get X, Y, and Z. Boom. It was a casualty award with our baseball program. Hey man, we can't do a trifecta,
yeah,
But
yeah,
now that you gone, who y'all say y'all wanted? Come here, got him.
yeah,
And guess what? His whole staff and team following too. I always tell folks, people love to tell a kid, "Oh, you ain't loyal" when they leave, but they ain't out here calling that kid who
no,
joined you unloyal. They
yeah,
like, "Hey,
Right.
buddy, way to
yeah,
come to the better school." You know what I'm saying? It's a business, man. Like
That's
you
all
gotta do
it
what's best for
is.
you.
Yeah, that college is big business now, man. So you got to get with it, or
Mhm.
you gonna get left behind, man.
And it's a
Yeah.
risk, bro. Like transferring to a school ain't just I'm going to another school, bro. It's a risk.
Hmm.
It's just like when you getting recruited to go to a school. Yeah, you like, hey, I'm so and so, but you don't know who on that roster and how good people really are. If you really gonna start, like even just because somebody transferred don't mean they're gonna be the starter. I don't care what you did. Like, I mean, some guys that you know gonna start, but it's still a risk.
Yeah,
And it's a risk of that money not being in there for that NIL too, y'all. People learning. They duping some of these kids.
like Leonard Hamilton, Florida State, he owed them boys a couple 100,000, man. He just told him he ain't got it.
Hey
And he
boy,
retired. He went and retired too. He never paid them back.
hey, look, it's like battle rap. If people watch battle rap, it's like people running off with the deposit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
It's
Hawk,
crazy.
before then, what's you UVA alum, man? What's the GOAT UVA athlete, man?
Oh,
I already know who I got. Well, you go. You can
any
tell.
sport.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the sports, so I mean, I'm not a UVA.
So like the big three, then like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, I would say it's probably Ralph.
Oh yeah,
Probably
that's what you
Ralph.
going. We going with Ralph.
Ah,
Yeah,
Ralph Sampson.
It's probably Ralph.
yeah. I was going with.
Yeah.
I was going with the. I was going Ronald Curry, man.
Oh. You mean the state of Virginia?
Well, nah, that's what I was gonna tell you at first, but I was
Oh
like,
no no
I
no
ain't gonna
no
hit him
no
with
no.
that.
Oh,
I was
time
talking about
out.
UVA, like, but I
Oh,
was
if
talking
you
about
talk,
UVA,
if you, oh yeah
but you
yeah
can
yeah.
do that.
If you doing
What's the
state of
state?
Virginia, oh yeah, you know I'm gonna say Uno, my guy. I'm gonna
That's your
say
guy,
Ron
Ronald Curry.
C. Yeah, that was my quarterback. I'm gonna
Oh
say
yeah,
Ron C.
y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
always
was.
gonna get my vote. Bubba my OG, so
Yeah,
you know I love Bubba to death. But
yeah.
I'm
Of
always
course, I
throwing.
wasn't gonna do UVA the state because then you was gonna go with Vic. It's gonna be Mike Vic.
Yeah, see, and that's I'm
Yeah,
torn because you got Vic, you got AB, you
Curry.
got Bubba, and then
Yeah,
you got Ron. So yeah. But just UVA sports, I'll probably say Ralph. He's like the most iconic. I mean, you got Sean Moore, you got Anthony Poindexter,
yeah,
and it's a host of other greats in basketball as
yeah.
well.
Herman
But
Moore, Herman Moore
Herman, yeah, Tiki, Thomas,
played. Yeah, but
Slade,
I was talking about Ronald Curry because it was just like he could do like how Julius Peppers could do
yeah,
everything. Like, figure like anything you want him to do, he could probably do it, any sport. That's why I say
yeah,
Ronald Curry because he was hooping. He wasn't the nicest, but he was hooping the
yeah,
ACC, and
yeah,
he you know what I'm saying. That's the one. That's the one that they should have had right there, man. That's the one
yeah,
they should.
and that's the thing. So that's why I always say Ron because we never got everybody else never got to see Bubba play football in college because he went to Georgetown. If Bubba went to a school, or if he was allowed to do both, people would see how cold Bubba Chuck was in
Yeah,
football. He was cold
yeah.
in
Mhm.
football, bro, and he could pitch in baseball too.
That's,
So Bubba, Mike Vick, and Aaron Brooks, we all played in Anderson Park Little League down in downtown Newport News, and all three of those guys were really good pitchers.
yeah,
So we grew up playing
Yeah,
baseball
that's
where I
wild.
was from. Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's what's up.
that's crazy. They got them down there, man. They don't be lying when they
It's
say
still
they
something in the water. It's
yeah.
still something down there.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Keyshawn though. Keyshawn Davis he gotta do better though. Gotta do better with Keyshawn, man.
Where he play right now?
Nah, he the boxer, the world
Oh,
champion
all right,
boxer
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah,
had
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
with
that
him and his
name. That's why I
brothers.
heard that name.
Yeah, he'll bounce back, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that was
yeah.
like a negative
Yeah,
light on the state of Norfolk. I mean the city of Norfolk. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Hawk, man. Hey, we appreciate you, man.
appreciate y'all, man.
Back
Thanks,
for the
thanks,
for the
brother.
second go round, man. And as usual, man, Lionel, he gonna get you to send us off one of them, some of them gems, man. So Lionel, man, go ahead and wrap us up, man.
Yes, sir, man. Like John said, Hawk, man, we appreciate you coming through second time around. And before we wrap up, if you can bless the listeners with a key for the day, anything inspiring, anything that can
Hmm.
keep them motivated, what you got?
Man, my key for the day is really embrace the process, embrace the journey. Like in sports terms, fall in love with the preparation and practice and stay the course, because a lot of times, whether it's a movie or song, we became accustomed to skipping. I'm gonna skip this track, or I'm gonna skip this scene, but it could be a lesson right there. And sometimes when we skip steps or we skip levels, we miss out on a valuable lesson that can help us elevate even more, because you might get to a certain level that you get stumped, but that lesson was at that level that you skipped. And a lot of times, I don't want to say failure, because I always feel like only time you fail is when you don't learn, when you lose, or when you come up short, because there's a lesson in it. And that's the true like bravery of, you fail a test that could have got you that promotion, but you meet it head on. You look at that test and be like, all right, I got to get that. I got to get that, versus creating those defense mechanisms that we call excuses to ease that blow. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to really, truly fall in love with the process and the journey, because through that love, you'll create that consistency. And through that consistency, you create the fundamentals. And with that fundamentals, everything that people praise took place. We call them highlights in sports, because of the fundamentals and the consistency and the love for the process. You can't can't get to the highlight without everything that follows. If you do, you're just a one-hit wonder, because you can't do it again, because you don't know how you did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Milli Vanilli ran off the stage. They ain't know how to sing.
That's facts. That's facts.
That's why Jello got to run off the stage, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Skipping steps.
They said Lonzo wrote the raps.
Yeah, they did say that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man. Hey, man, we're going to let you roll, man, because I know you got to. I'm gonna be checking for you in the morning, man. So I ain't gonna hold you up.
Getting up. Yeah.
The people gonna be waiting on you, man. But hey, second time, man. Hey, who knows, man? We might do a third, man. You know, man.
You might always welcome to it, brother.
Be your first in person, man. We're gonna speak that, man. You might be the first in person we do, man, down the road, man. So
yeah, I like the sound of that in person. Oh, y'all really stepping it up now.
Yeah. That's why I said down the road, man. We slacking, man. We gonna pick it back up, man. We gonna tighten up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Hey, y'all check Ballhawk out, man, on Believe Virginia, the Ballhawk show. And hey, if you need some inspiration, man, he got it for you, man. But we appreciate you, bro. And we're gonna check up with you, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. Continue to do what you do, man. I'm a fan of you guys, and I'm always gonna support, man. So iron sharpens iron, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Peace.
With the